What's up, everybody, man? It's your boy, Mr. Duga, coming at y'all with another video, man. And today I'm gonna do my NFL Week 2 predictions, you know what I'm saying? I know Week 1, I sucked, man. I went 6-7-1, obviously with the one tie with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Let's see how I'm gonna do this week, you know what I'm saying? First off, we got the Thursday night game with the Baltimore Ravens traveling on the road to take on the Cincinnati Bengals, man. Give me the Baltimore Ravens in this game, man. You know, they had a great performance last week against the Buffalo Bills, you know, especially defensively. Even though the Bills look like they might be arguably the worst offense in the league this year, you know what I'm saying? They played well defensively. Cincinnati Bengals came up with a late Jack Doyle fumble and took it to the house to get a win on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. But I like the Baltimore Ravens going on the road, beating the Cincinnati Bengals to improve their record to 2-0. You know what I'm saying? Next, we got the Kansas City Chiefs going on the road to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. I just want to tell all the Patrick Mahomes fans, you know, yeah, he played well week 1, but I'm still not sold on him like that. Now, if he continue to do this throughout the season, then hey, you know, I'll apologize and give y'all due. But I'm not about to give him his Hall of Fame jacket after one performance, man. You know, which it was a great performance. They went on the road and beat Phillip Rivers and the Los Angeles Chargers in a nice win, you know. Pittsburgh Steelers, man, they got all kind of stuff going on with them, man. You know, Le'Veon Bell holding out, players talking shit about him in the locker room. You know, they gave up a 14-point lead, ending up tying with the Cleveland Browns, but did come up with a crucial block field goal to at least not outright lose that game. But with that being said, man, the Pittsburgh Steelers, like, they've been owning the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Like, that's the one team that the Kansas City Chiefs seem to not get over the hump with, man. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers at home over the Kansas City Chiefs to improve their record to 1-0-1. You know what I'm saying? Next game, we have the Miami Dolphins going on the road to take on the New York Jets, man. You know, last week, the Miami Dolphins in a game that seemed like it took about 12 hours to finish with the rain delay. You know, the Miami Dolphins beat the Tennessee Titans at home, you know, and a nice win for them at home. You know, Kenny Stills had a huge game. And, you know, the New York Jets, man, New Jack City, you know what I'm saying? They just took apart and throttled, you know, the Detroit Lions on the road on Monday Night Football in Sam Darnold's first start. Give me the New York Jets at home, man. I think the New York Jets pull this game out at home and start this season off a surprising 2-0. You know what I'm saying? Next game we have, of course, my Philadelphia Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champs, going on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. You know, my Eagles, man, offensively, you know, it wasn't one of our best performances, man. You know, Nick Foles went out there, you know, he did enough. He did enough offensively to get the job done, man. You know, especially with Dougie P calling the second version of the Philly. You know, we pulled that game out, you know what I'm saying? Jay Ajayi, 2 touchdown runs. Defense, you know, they bend, but when they got in the red zone, you know, they handled their business and didn't really let them get in there except for that one time, you know what I'm saying? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, Ryan Fitzpatrick went down to New Orleans and dropped some bombs, man, which surprised everybody. You know, they humbled the Saints real quick down there, man. They out there looking like they got some type of real explosive offense, or the Saints D just that bad with this new offensive coordinator, Ty Monken. But of course, man, like, give me the champs, man. I think it's gonna be hot as hell down there. It's not gonna be an easy game, but I think we go down to Tampa Bay and pull it out, man. For us to start off 2-0 as we await the much anticipated return of Carson Wentz and also like Alshon Jeffrey, Timmy Jernigan, Mac Hollins, and those guys, you know. Next game, we got the 0-1 Cleveland Browns going on the road to take on the New Orleans Saints, man. You know, Cleveland coming off that tie with Pittsburgh, you know, breaking their long losing streaks, but they didn't actually win. But Cleveland got some talent, you know what I'm saying? New Orleans, their offense could go up and down the field with anybody in the league, But, we don't know if that was a fluke, if they went into that game too big-headed, since you got people like Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless picking them to win to get to the Super Bowl. Or maybe this is a real issue with them, you know what I'm saying? This Saints team, this kind of reminds me of them a couple of years back when going into the 2015 season, everybody picking them to go to the Super Bowl and their defense came out putrid. But you know what? But them being at home, man, I think they pull it out, man. I think the New Orleans Saints beat the Cleveland Browns at home to improve their record to 1-1. Next game, you got the Indianapolis Colts going on the road to take on the Washington Redskins, man. Like I said, Indianapolis Colts, shout out to Frank Reich, coming off a tough loss at home to the Cincinnati Bengals, a game that it looked like they was about to go down and win it, you know what I'm saying? And then you got the Redskins, who surprised me a little bit going into Arizona and handling their business the way they did, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest, man, I think the Redskins get it done at home, man. I think they beat the Indianapolis Colts at home to improve their record to 2-0, to where us and them sit on top of the division 2-0. You know what I'm saying? Next game, you got the Los Angeles Chargers going on the road to take on the Buffalo Bills, man. Chargers dealing with a lot of injuries right now, and, they didn't have a good showing at home against the Kansas City Chiefs in week 1. Buffalo Bills just looked putrid, especially offensively against the Baltimore Ravens, man. They just looked like a very, very dysfunctional offensive team, which is why I'm going to take the Los Angeles Chargers going on the road to beat the Buffalo Bills, for Phillip and those guys to get back on track and improve their record to 1-1. Next game, you got the Minnesota Vikings going on the road to take on the Green Bay Packers. Minnesota had a pretty nice win at home against the San Francisco 49ers. Their defense really get after it when they home in that dome, man. Got the pick 6 by the rookie Mike Hughes. Kirk Cousins was solid. Dalvin Cook looked like he's still trying to, get back into the groove of things coming off his knee injury. And Aaron Rodgers went out there and put on like a show for the ages Sunday. Like I said, I thought he was out for the year after that injury, man. Only for him to come back and drag and will his team to a win, you know what I'm saying, practically on one leg, you know what I'm saying? So that was a legendary performance by Aaron Rodgers. It's still doubt that, if he play or not this week. I personally think he will. I know it's risky going up against that defense, but I think Aaron Rodgers going to get it done at home, man. I think Aaron Rodgers going to go out there. I think he got something to prove, against Minnesota, how they basically, even though he came back, play a game, sort of ended him and Green Bay's season last year. I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers at home, man, to pull this game out against the Minnesota Vikings, man. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers going on the road to take on the Atlanta Falcons, man. Carolina coming off of an ugly but good win at home against the Dallas Cowboys, where, Cam Newton was running all over the place. Their defense was just stymieing the Cowboys' offense. And then, Atlanta came, they coming off that tough loss against us, man. Also had a couple of tough injuries, man. Keanu Neal, tore his ACL and is out for the season. And they really, really talented. Shout out to my LSU boy, Deion Jones. He hurt his foot and it looked like he have to go on IR and miss some time, man. Which is very unfortunate, for them or whatever. But even with that said, I still think the Atlanta Falcons get the win this week, man. I think at home, man, they play well enough and they get the win over the Carolina Panthers this week to improve their record to 1-1, Next game, you got the Houston Texans going on the road to take on the Tennessee Titans. Houston coming off a tough loss on the road against the New England Patriots, where Deshaun Watson didn't play necessarily great, you know what I'm saying? You also have the Tennessee Titans coming off of a loss down in Miami to the Miami Dolphins, you know what I'm saying? Which they also, a tough loss for them. They lost Delaney Walker. He out for the season with, a dislocated ankle and stuff like that, which is really, really a big, unfortunate loss for him. But it sounds crazy, but, man, I think the Tennessee Titans get the win, man. I think the Tennessee Titans still find a way to pull it out at home, man. Deion Lewis shown that, he didn't really miss a beat, I think the Titans gonna get it done at home, man. Like I just really think they do to improve their record to 1-1. Next game you got the Arizona Cardinals going on the road to take on the 1992 Dream Team slash the Los Angeles Rams. Like I said, Sam Darnold, I don't know how he keep getting paid, man. Like I honestly thought, they was gonna play better than they did last week. They got David Johnson, who was an absolute beast. You know what I'm saying? But like, Sam Bradford just, he ain't that guy, man. Then you got the Los Angeles Rams who started off slow Monday night, but then really cranked it up in the second half to pull away from the Oakland Raiders. Like Bradford sucks, man. Obviously, I'm gonna go with the Los Angeles Rams at home to beat the Arizona Cardinals. You know what I'm saying, and improve their record to 2-0 and look like one of the real contenders going up against my Eagles going in, down the road in this season. Next game we got the Detroit Lions going on the road to take on the San Francisco 49ers, man. Detroit Lions look putrid. I know Stafford could put up stats and they got solid receivers and they got a couple of solid people on defense, but like Matt Patricia I don't really believe in him as a head coach for this team. I don't think this Detroit Lions team gonna do very well. I think they're gonna finish last in the division this year. The 49ers, even though they lost, it was a solid game against the Vikings on the road, a tough team, man. And if it wasn't for this Alfred Morris fumble, man, maybe this game could have went to overtime or something. They only lost by 8. You know what I'm saying? And, Jimmy G got to stay away from the pick sixes. But I think the 49ers bounce back at home and beat a very overrated Detroit Lions team and improve their record to 1-1. Next we got the Oakland Raiders going on the road to take on the Denver Broncos, man. Like I said, Oakland Raiders, man, Derek Carr had a terrible performance Monday night, man. Like John Gruden, like that was just not a good way for John Gruden to start off his first season, you know what I'm saying? Getting beat, pretty handily by the LA Rams. Even though the Rams are a solid Super Bowl contender, that wasn't a good start for them, you know what I'm saying? Then you got the Denver Broncos who won a pretty hard-fought game with the Seattle Seahawks at home, man. It was a tough game, but they pulled it out, at the end. And I'm going to go with the Broncos again, man. Like, I got the Denver Broncos beating the Oakland Raiders at home, man. I think they're going to go out there and put on a solid performance, and I think they're going to get it done, man, to improve their record to 2-0, Next game, man, we got, probably the game of the week, a rematch of the AFC Championship game. You got Tom Brady, Gronk, and the New England Patriots going up on the road to take on, Duval, Saxonville, whatever you want to call them, the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. New England Patriots basically did, what everybody expected them to do. They beat the Houston Texans at home, you know what I'm saying? But they signed Corey Coleman yesterday, to give them depth on their receiving core that they kind of thin at because they're still waiting on Julian Edelman to come back, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, man, Leonard Fournette hurt his hamstring. I don't know what his status is going into this week. Until I hear otherwise, I'ma assume I didn't hear he's gonna miss. I'ma assume he's gonna be out there. You know what I'm saying? But their defense is still legit, man. Boyd still got his moments, but defensively, they still legit, man. And I'm going to go with the upset, man. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars get it done at home, man. I think, they find a way to take Gronk out the game, and I think they man up on all the Patriots receivers across the board. And assuming if Fournette plays or whatever, I think the Jaguars grind out and win at home, man. And I think they give Brady a tough time this week. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars getting it done at home against the New England Patriots, man. Next you got the Sunday night football game with the two 0-1 teams in my division. You got the New York Giants going on the road to take on the Dallas Cowboys, man. The New York Giants, man, they got a lot of weapons, man. Saquon Barkley look like the real deal. We all know what Odell Beckham Jr. bring to the table. Sterling Shepard solid. Evan Ingram is solid. Their defense is okay. Their offensive line still got problems. And Eli Manning is, starting to look old. You know what I'm saying? As far as the Dallas Cowboys, they actually look like they're going to be okay defensively, but like offensively, man, it was absolutely putrid. You know what I'm saying? They was absolutely putrid on offense. They don't really have no receivers like that. It's like it's Ezekiel Elliott or bust when it come to the Dallas Cowboys, which is why I'm gonna take the New York Giants to go on the road in AT&T Stadium and beat the Dallas Cowboys Sunday night to improve their record to 1-1 and drop the Dallas Cowboys in the basement of the NFC East. And finally, you know, Monday Night Football, you have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Chicago Bears, man. Seattle Seahawks, you know, look like Doug Baldwin is injured. They went on the road, fought hard. Russell Wilson, you know, did what he could do. Fell short to the Denver Broncos. Chicago Bears, man. If they play the rest of the year like they did that first half, they could be a Super Bowl contender. They got a really nice young core, a good talent, and it looks like they got solid coaching, man. Aaron Rodgers just really humbled them that second half. You know, young players, you know, got to learn how to finish. But I think the Chicago Bears going to get it done Monday night at home, man. I think, you know, Khalil Mack going to get after Wilson. You know, I think they're going to play two halves this week, man. So I got the Chicago Bears beating the Seattle Seahawks Monday night this week. With that being said, man, that's my week 2 predictions, man. I appreciate y'all checking out the video. If you like, give your boy a subscribe. Y'all have a blessed one, man. Fly, Eagles, fly.